FM. Remember, you can always give us a call at 216-271-0959. You can listen to us online at wovu.org. Remember to download that WOVU app so you can listen to us on the go as you go about your day, and you can listen to us all the time. And then also, you can watch the show on Facebook.com, All Sports, All Place Network. And you can go to Rachel L. Hill. You can go to my Facebook page and you can catch the show that way. So Willie and Marshawn will be joining me shortly. But let's go ahead and just go and get into it. So one of the things that we were going to be talking about today is that what are the expectations for the Browns after they're coming out of the bye week? And can this team pull it together, or should we hang it up and focus on the draft and the offseason? And what acquisitions need to be made? So some of the expectations I have is that for this offense to bring it together and to gel together. I have expectations that Baker Mayfield is going to, even though I have these expectations, I don't know if they're necessarily going to be true, but I have expectations that Baker Mayfield is going to play better. That's the hope. You hope that he's able to get some rest, some relaxation, maybe for these injuries that they'll heal up. And when he come back, he can actually be productive. So that's one of the things that you can always hope for coming out of this bye week. You hope that Kevin Stefanski studies a whole bunch of film, studies a whole bunch of tape, and actually can diagnose himself. I know that there's a lot of pride that's going on with him right now, but he has to put his pride aside if he wants this team to be better, play better, and possibly be in contention. One more loss and your math. I mean, you can make it at 10-7, but the Browns have some tough competition. They face Baltimore again. They face Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. They face the Raiders at home, but you never know with the Raiders. That could always be a toss-up. And they have Green Bay on the road. So could they make the playoffs at 10-7? That's possible. They could make the playoffs at 10-7. But Kevin Stefanski has to look. I'm hoping that, during his bye week, he doesn't take off and he studies film and he sees where the deficits are for this offense. He wants to call the plays. He needs to be aware of what is going on with his offense, what's going on with it, how they can be better. One of the things is he needs to focus on how this team can lessen the amount of penalties. They're the most penalized league. So how do you have your team be disciplined? That's something that he needs to work on. He needs to work on play calling. How does he always says that I want to put my team in a position to win. Okay, well, how are you going to do that? Why are the Browns so bad? Have you assessed why the Browns are not where they should be, where we thought they were going to be at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year? Have you assessed that? I don't know if he has. Because if he has, he'd have a gut conversation with him and realize how bad this team is playing. And he would do everything he can to correct it. We're tired of the press conferences of, well, we got to be better. I got to do better. That's saying the same thing every time. Hey, Marshawn.
What's up? What's up, Rachel?
Hey, Marshawn.
What's going on?
Nothing. What's going on? We got Mr. Marshawn Powers in the house with us today.
Stop hating on my calves. You see them boys,
man, bro. Until they get a wing player, we're not even gonna have this conversation.
You stop hating on my boys. They just smacked up the math.
Hey, they got to beat Miami tonight, and they ain't beat Miami in 20 tries in Miami. In Miami. DJ, this is just a fact. I'm speaking facts.
DJ Chris Styles is trying
to open up that door.
DJ Chris Styles is trying to convince me that the Cavs is going to remain at second in the division over Milwaukee and Chicago. Tell DJ Chris Styles I'll be there in person next week. We could put money, lunch, dinner, whatever. I'm all for it. We can put whatever on that.
Stop disrespecting the Cavs. You didn't even have them win. You didn't even have them win the 10 games at this point right now. You said they were. Yeah, and they are, and they're playing. They playing good, playing really well.
They are, but I mean, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, like I said, until they get a wing player, I don't consider them better. No, they're Chris Styles, they're not making the playoffs. They're in the playoffs 20 games in. There's still 60 games left in the season.
They're going to be in the playoffs. Evan Mobley is doing his thing. Just know
You
that.
said who's better? I could name a list of 10 teams that's better than the Cavaliers right now, no matter
But
where they are in the standings.
are they playing better now? Are they playing
Yes.
better? They're not playing better.
Yes.
Look at their
Yes.
record.
Yes, they
Look at the
are.
Cavs records. They are just as even as everybody else right now.
Is the Cavs better than is the Oh, he walked away from me. He ain't want to talk that
Absolutely,
Chicago.
young guy.
They not better than
Come on,
Chicago. They
Lojo.
not
Come
better
on,
than
Lojo.
Milwaukee. They're not better
He
than
said he
Brooklyn. They're
loves
not
you,
better than
Marshawn.
Miami. He
Come
walked
on, Lojo.
away from me.
He said he loves you, though.
That's my homie, man. That's my guy.
We're going to get to some Cavs talk a little later, but one of the things that I posed was, what can those expectations be coming? What should the expectations be coming out of the bye week? We're going to get to the Cavs a little bit later. So DJ Chris Styles came here wanting to do Cavs talk. We're going to hold that for a little bit later, which is absolutely fine. But Marshawn, what are your expectations of the Browns coming out of this bye week? Because I named some. I named, wanting Kevin Stefanski to do better, not actually just say, how he's going to do better. I want this team to be more disciplined. I want them to work out the offensive kinks. I want Baker to get some rest so he can actually play better, be a better passer. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. But those are some of the things that I listed as far as the expectations I have.
I mean, first of all, my first expectation is to, one, see a better pass game or pass attack from the Browns. Andrew Berry came out today and pretty much put any of those injury excuses to rest. So I don't want to hear I don't want to see any comments. I don't want to hear any callers, tweeters, Facebookers, Instagrammers. Today, Andrew Berry put the injury excuses to rest. So I'm no longer accepting the injury excuse. So I need to see a better pass attack. I need to see, consistency from the defense. I seen a defense that played, lights out a couple days ago, and unfortunately we lost. But I feel like if we could continue to see a defense like that, then the offense will fix itself. I need to see, Stefanski, like you say, Stefanski making better decisions as the head coach of the football team. I'm not going to go as hard on him as everybody else, but I'm just not
Why
impressed
not? You
with.
can go hard on him.
He
make enough money. He'll be fine.
Yeah, but we also got to remember that this guy is a second-year head coach. Like, I could see if this was, Mike Tomlin, or I could see if this was Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick, something like that. You don't get excuses. But for a guy who, legitly is in his second year as the head man in charge, the only thing I could really, if you're going to give Baker an excuse and then, he's been hurt, then you have to give Kevin Stefanski some type of leeway, knowing that, there's some growing pains for him too. He's never been, a head coach at any level that I know of before. So I need him to, step up a little bit more and be who we thought he was as the coach of the year. And what else? And like I say, I told you guys on week 6 that the Browns will have to go 8-3 in order to make the playoffs. They're 3-3. They went 3-3 since we've talked. So that means they would have to go 5-0 to close out the season. It's possible, but I think that they'll end up more on the 4-1 side. So, my last expectation is that, you gotta go out and finish strong. You gotta go out and get if 5 wins, run the board is what I would love. But if you could get 4 wins, 10-7, that should possibly keep you in.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, do you think 10-7 will get you in the playoffs?
I don't, but it could definitely put you in the same realm as like maybe the Chargers or the Steelers or even Cincinnati. They're looking good, but I still don't believe that they're just going to win out and end up at 13-4. I still believe that Cincinnati got a couple more losses on their book, especially one coming from us. So I think that the Browns got a good chance. They got a really, really good chance at going I mean, like I said, 11-6, because I'm not changing my threshold. I think the threshold to make the playoffs without any worries, without any help from any other team, is you have to have at least 11 wins.
Yeah, they don't really have any tiebreakers either.
No, we losing all the tiebreakers. I mean, we lost the tiebreaker with Chargers. Chargers got a tiebreaker over us. I mean, at the end of the day, the Raiders got a tiebreaker over us. If I'm not mistaken. No, we're not helping ourselves by relying on other teams because we're losing.
Yeah. What else do you think coming out? I expect defense to tighten up a little bit, you know. But
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
they're up and down though. 1 week they'll have this
yeah,
amazing game, and next week we getting blown out. They're up and
yeah.
down. If they can figure out how to not be up and down so much, to clamp down, not have so many penalties, not have so many pass interference penalties. I noticed that. Did Ravens really pick on Greg Newsome that much?
No, I wouldn't say that specifically because I mean, Greg Newsome held his own, so I wouldn't say that they picked on him. I would say that they definitely checked his temperature to see if he could hang with Hollywood Brown, and he did. He did his job. I
Yeah,
necessarily don't.
defense did their
Uh,
job.
yeah, I don't think so far yet. Like no team has actually went out and said we're going to test Greg Newsome and see
Oh, New
what type
England
of
did. New England threw
they
his
test.
way
The New
multiple,
England test
multiple
the whole.
times.
Yeah, New England tests the whole team. They test Denzel, they test the safeties. I don't think. What I'm saying is, I don't think a team just specifically went out and said we're gonna throw at him the whole game and see if he really
Well,
is that good. I
they
think
didn't
he's
throw it the
earned
whole game,
some
but
type of respect.
there
Yeah.
was some notable plays in which they targeted him
hmm
and targeted his side on it.
Yeah. Man, but that's every team. Every team. I mean, you could pick plays from Detroit and say Detroit picked on them. You could pick plays from Kansas City. I mean, not Kansas City. Cincinnati picked on them by having Jamar Chase going on some deep posts, some deep fades, and seeing if he could stick with them, and he held his own. So, I mean, I don't think it's any different than what other teams have been doing.
I like Greg Newsome. I think he's had a great year, but
Yeah,
if they
he's got to
can,
stay healthy.
yeah, and they can just figure out a lot of little things and a lot of kinks. I
hmm
think that, well, I was gonna say I think that they'd be okay, but in saying that, I'd be lying. So yeah, they're, I think it's over.
No, I wouldn't. The only reason why I wouldn't say it's over because you got to remember, Rachel, we still got to play Pittsburgh, who I think is bad right now. The Browns, for some reason, put fear in Cincinnati's heart, and I honestly, I mean, Willie ain't here yet, but I honestly believe that the Browns only team that the Browns I'm worried about left on this schedule is Green Bay, and that's because they got arguably the second best quarterback right now playing that's not named Tom Brady. So I think they could beat the Raiders because the Raiders is here. I think we could beat Baltimore. I think I said that we were going to get 1-1 with Baltimore. I didn't feel that Baltimore would sweep us. I didn't think we would sweep Baltimore. So I think now that you gave them a week to prepare and learn off the mistakes of that, I think the Browns will go ahead and take care of business. So I'm not gonna say that they're out. You know, I still think that this team got a lot of fight in it, and with the expectations that the front office has put on this team, I don't think that this team can quit. Because if that's the case, it's gonna be a whole fire sale with players. I don't think it's gonna be coaches. I think it's gonna be a whole fire sale with players. At the end of the season, if they don't go out and at least win 10 games. I think if you win 9 games, yeah, that's a winning season, but that's unacceptable.
So you think this team can pull it together then, and we shouldn't start focusing on
I
the
mean,
draft and off-season acquisitions?
I'm already focused on the draft. I already pretty much know who I want in the draft. If Andrew Berry, if he's listening, if you want to put me in that war room with you, You got to go and get one of three guys. You either got to go get Jamison Williams, who was a former Buckeye. That's my number one guy. That's the guy who I feel like if you put Jamison Williams with Baker, Jarvis, Hollywood is not going to be here next year. Schwartz, whatever, and who I don't think Hooper's going to be here either. But if you put Jamison Williams, a guy who is 6'2" and runs a 4.2 blazing speed, and forgot about what all the great receivers Ohio State got. I think Jameson will definitely fit in here in Ohio. He's from the coast. He's from St. Louis, so you don't got to worry about that whole SEC. Oh, he went to the SEC. He's never played in the cold. He played down in Columbus. So I think I'm already for the draft, but I don't think the draft is where the Browns is at. I think the Browns really feel like that they have a chance to still win a division. I still think it's a possibility to win the division or get in on the last second wild card because I feel like a team that's winning. I mean, we got a lot of hot teams right now. Indianapolis, New England, Kansas City is kind of hot, and I would say Cincinnati. I don't think Baltimore is hot right now. I think Baltimore is just doing whatever it takes to win. But those four teams, I think they're hot right now, but at some point they're gonna have to cool off. So I feel like if one of those teams, kind of burns out, that also gives the Browns the opportunity to make it in.
Did they fizzle out?
Yeah, if they fizzle out, somebody's gonna fizzle out. I don't think all four of them teams is just going to end these last 5 games just how dominant they've been in November. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, we need a lot of things to happen, but one of the things that we got to have happen is we got to take a break right quick. You are listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Often seek medical help, but their symptoms are not recognized as being COVID-related. The impact on patients' health can range from mild to totally debilitating. After the initial COVID infection, there are several symptoms that may indicate long-haul COVID or COVID-19 syndrome. These symptoms are shortness of breath, coughing and fever, fatigue and exhaustion, brain fog, atypical chest pain and palpitations, behavioral health issues like depression and anxiety, difficulties with cognition and memory, insomnia and other sleep problems, generalized pain and muscle aches, joint pain and impaired mobility, persistent loss of smell and taste, headaches, diarrhea, skin rashes. To receive more information on post-COVID or long-haul syndrome, visit WOVU.org. Click on the banner at the top of the page and complete a brief survey. This message is brought to you by WOVU 95.9 FM, Our Voices United, Burton Bell Carr Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I'm here with Marshawn Powers and Willie Epteen Jr. just joined us. What's up, Willie?
I got to say something right quick. Hold on. Before Willie say something. Hey, is you on LSU's booster crew? Is that an LSU sweatshirt on? Is you on a booster committee now? Oh my goodness! Hey, ever since Brian Kelly went down there, he a part of the booster committee now.
This is
slanging that bread over to him.
This is Patrice's sweatshirt.
I can't say nothing bad about Miss Epteen. Yeah, we're gonna let it go. Yeah. We're gonna let it go then.
But whose hat is that? Is that her hat too?
No, it's my hat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
I don't think that's no LSU hat. That can't be no LSU hat. Oh, okay. God. All right. We good. He just wanted to wear purple and yellow today. You get a pass for it.
Mm-hmm.
Get past
Get off,
for
get off my case.
Yeah, but you up there slanging dollars to get Brian what you call it down there.
Girl, didn't I just tell you that this is Patrice's sweatshirt?
I know she a booster too though.
Nah, she actually went to Louisiana Tech. My oldest sister went to LSU.
Oh really?
I actually went to LSU for one semester.
How'd you like it?
I liked it too much. That's why I only went there for one semester.
Hey, you know what that sound like, Willie? When I was in the Navy, and I was stationed down in Pensacola, and we went to. I used to always go out to Tallahassee, and I was there for the. I was in Tal. I was in. I used to go to Tallahassee so much. You might as well say I went to FSU, and man, I can understand. I feel your pain, man. Trying to have fun. I mean, trying to study in Navy school and having fun out there with FSU and FAMU. And no.
And then you got to think too that summer school, you go to class every day. Not like during the fall or the winter or spring semester where you can pick your classes in the days, but in summer school, LSU, you went to the same class every day.
Well, that's crappy.
And I had 2 classes. And I think I got a D in one and a C in the other. I was pretty impressed with myself. That's why Baton Rouge really, all jokes aside though, that's why Baton Rouge is one of my favorite cities because there's so much culture out there and it's only an hour at the most from New Orleans. So LSU and Southern, they bring so much to the table. And then all the different places you can go and get some really, really great food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Baton Rouge is one of my favorite cities.
When I was in New Orleans, I had to start asking for my food to be grilled because I couldn't take all the fried food anymore.
Yeah, it'll do it to you. Did you have the beignets when you were out there?
I did. We went to the original Cafe Du Monde as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they were pretty good at like 3:00 in the morning. I had a great time. I love New Orleans.
Yeah.
I was down there for NABJ conference, the national conference, and my memories just came up the other day of it. But it was in August, so I don't know why my memories just popped up on Facebook. But it was an amazing time, and I loved that city. I didn't know that. What is that street? What's that street? Bourbon Street was going to smell like a dumpster, though. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what happens when people are partying and taking their panties off and throw them on the street and taking their bras off and people taking leaks in back alleys. That's what happens down in places like that. But real quick story before Marshawn comes back on. When me and Patrice went on a cruise, we left out of New Orleans, so we drove to New Orleans from Dallas, which is like 7.5 hours, and we went the night before so we could take in some of the sights in New Orleans and get some food and stuff. So when we parked in this parking lot, right, she's like, "Oh, look at that puppy." I said, "Girl, that is a rat."
Oh my God.
Tail was this long. I mean, let me see, like the tail was a real tail. So she was like, "Oh, look at the rat." No, baby. That's not.
You had to go pet it.
Yeah, that
was
is
on the way to go pet it. Yeah, I saw a possum the other night by my apartment complex. I'm like, ooh wee. Those things can be destructive. But real quick, since we got you here, Raiders, Washington. What's your prediction on that?
HTTR. HTTR.
George, hold on. George B just said you wearing that LSU garbage because you just lassoed Brian. Look, the Washington football team is playing some good football right now. Taylor Heinicke is a guy that, he may not be your franchise 8 to 12 year quarterback, but he has proven that he can win games in this league. And the defense, even though they're without your boy Chase, they're still very formidable. And I underestimated how good that secondary can be. And then Darren Waller looks like he's not going to play this week. due to the knee injury. So Foster Moreau,
fantasy team too.
Yeah, so you better go out there and get Foster Moreau and put Darren Waller on the bench. And Foster Moreau is the second string tight end, and he's gonna get a lot of looks. Now, your prediction, you asked me for my prediction. I think the Raiders are gonna win. It's gonna be an ugly game, I believe. But I think we're gonna get them. And this is really kind of like for the Raiders and all of us hashtag Raider Nation out there. You see this, you see the Crabtree, you see the Mac, although they might be throwbacks, but you see them back there. And this is a pivotal point of the season because for the last 3 years, the Raiders had gotten to this point really with an opportunity to write their own ticket into the playoffs. And this year is no different, but this year feels different. So I think the Raiders are going to actually answer the call. I think the win against Cowboys on Thanksgiving, say what you will about the penalties, I don't even want to hear it. But I think that the Raiders are going to take the momentum from that win against the Cowboys on Thursday, and we're going to move to 7-5, and we're going to be back in because right now we're in the hunt. We are the 8th team right now. So we get this win this week, we'll actually be back in one of those top 7s. Hate. Look at the hate.
Ooh.
I mean, it's
I was reading some of the comments. George said, "Don't the football team need a kicker?" Yeah, they need a kicker, but he ain't gonna mean much of nothing this game. I mean, this game is gonna be low scoring. I think it'll be 2017, 21-17 type of game. I'm going to go with the Raiders, man. I can't trust as bad as I really like the football team's defense. They got what's my guy that the other Montrez? They got Montrez Sweat. They got Jamin Davis. They still got one of Kendall Fuller. Now, they got a really stout defense minus Chase Young. Jonathan Allen is the leader of it all. So I respect their defense, but my thing is you're not using your weapons on offense properly. You went out and got Curtis Samuel. You're not using him. Why? Because he's either hurt or he's just not using them. Antonio Gibson, a guy who I thought would take that second step, as being a dominant running back. He's a big running back too, 6'2", about 225, 230 pounds. I thought he would have the effect that King Henry would have by being a bigger type of running back, but he can't stay healthy. And then I like Tyler Heineke, but I just don't really think that I can't trust him, man. I really. And this game is it at FedEx or is it in Vegas?
It is at Allegiant Field, right?
So it's at Allegiant, yeah. It's at Allegiant Field. I think that as much as I really wanted Vegas to lose to the Cowboys last week, man, I wanted them to lose bad as all day. They didn't lose, so I feel like anytime I desperately want a team to lose, it never happens. So I'm gonna just go ahead and rock with the Raiders on this win. But it's still HTTR, hell to the Redskins.
Did you just say that you wanted the Cowboys to beat the Raiders?
I did. I wanted the Cowboys for two reasons. One, I got Zeke and CeeDee Lamb on just about two of my fantasy teams, and two, I don't like the Raiders, bro. I really don't like the Raiders. I liked them enough when they had Gruden. I could stand them, but now that you don't have Gruden, and there's nothing really to like about them, So
I just don't care.
I really don't care. I don't like them because one. I'll tell you why I really don't like them. Last year, y'all got away with one against us. They caught a touchdown. They took a touchdown away from Jarvis, and they gave it to I forget the guy that they gave the touchdown to last year when y'all came here. And I never liked the Raiders. I really don't like y'all ever since then.
And not to say that our offensive line just totally dismantled y'all's defensive front. I think we ran for over 200 yards as a team that game. And then I remember seeing all the wins, so nobody could really pass the ball. And it's crazy because
Nick Chubb was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. He was out. But Josh Jacobs, I mean, I don't know about Josh. I don't think Josh is going to be a Raider for too much longer. I don't think he's going to have.
Is it? Let me ask you, what is next year his technically his last year under contract?
Next year will be
got 2 more years.
Next year will be his 4th year with the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't see them. I don't see them exercising this if they haven't already. But I don't see them exercising this 5th year option either. So yeah, I agree with you, Willie. I think he's already looking for somewhere. He's probably already house shopping with his agent where he'll go. I mean, next year.
And think about that dude's story for a second. He was homeless in Tulsa. I think he's from Tulsa.
Yeah.
He was homeless, and now he's where he is. So good for him on that. And
hey,
I wouldn't mind it if he searched for opportunities elsewhere. I wouldn't mind it too much.
I will say this, man. One thing I do respect about Josh Jacobs, I feel like a lot of players. He was on. Can't remember which All the Smoke. No, it wasn't All the Smoke. It was freaking the podcast with Ocho and them and all like that. They had him on for like 5 minutes or whatever. They was talking about it on IG, and he was talking about how he's still close with Henry Ruggs the fourth, and how he just don't feel right. Most of the players on the Raiders have given up on him as being not only just being a teammate but being like a brother. And he was like, man, Henry Ruggs, his family, has taken me in and all like that. And, he was pretty much saying about how, anything that Ruggs will ever need, he got him for life. So I thought that was pretty dope to not throw a man to the trash for an accident. I mean, it was an accident. We can all agree on it. It was a bonehead accident. But, not to still be able to, take him under his wing and still be that brother. I respect him for that.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that Derek Carr has done. He basically said, nobody else is really trying to love Henry Ruggs III right now, but I will love him for life. So, whatever punishment he gets or whatever discipline time that he gets, I think he's going to have a somewhat of an allegiance of people that are going to be willing to be there by his side and help him out any way that they can.
That's good. All right, fellas, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of college basketball. And, for Ohio State fans, they had a treat last night after the loss that took place on Saturday. So we'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Could soon have a pill to treat COVID-19. The pharmaceutical company Merck has requested approval from the Food and Drug Administration to begin distributing a COVID-19 pill. This comes after Merck and Ridgeback recently conducted a study with the oral antiviral molnupiravir. It showed the risk of hospitalization and death cut by half in a trial involving patients with mild to moderate COVID-19. While this is big news, the pill will not come cheap here. It could cost up to $700 in the United States, but as low as $20 in other countries. Some may even distribute the pill for free. It's worth investigating alternatives to vaccinations, as well as discussing their pros and cons, which includes costs. Learn more about the COVID-19 pill at the Long Haul Kickoff event on Saturday, November 27th. This is WOVU 95.9 FM. Our Voices United, a Burton Bell Carr community radio station.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady.
All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. Willie, what you laughing at? Marshawn kicked himself out again?
I don't know. It to me, the way you say that is just, it's amusing to me.
What
you just said. Say it again.
What, when I open the show?
Mm-hmm.
WOVU 95.9 FM.
No, that's not how you said it. But anyway, I'm gonna have to record it and send it to you.
I hate my voice being recorded.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna tell you.
It's the worst ever. But what they say is that how you hear yourself is completely different than the way somebody else hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess our voices tend to naturally be a little deeper.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, because I remember when I first heard myself on a recording when I was like 14, I was like, who is that? Is that me?
I know. Yeah.
Like, who is this person? But yeah, so Ohio State.
Yeah.
They got it right.
Yeah, man. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Were you able to catch the game last night?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought they were gonna lose because they were down like 15 points at a time, and they were down, going into, the waning moments of the game almost. But they slowly clawed themselves back in the game. EJ Manuel was just phenomenal. Marshawn had mentioned on Twitter today how EJ Manuel had got death threats and stuff when we lost to Oral Roberts in the tournament last year. He got a lot of death threats, but after winning, last night being one of the cogs in the wheel that got the straw that stirs the drink that got everybody going, he, everybody is loving on him and stuff like that, wanting to take pictures with him and stuff, after knocking off number one. But, yeah, I didn't think Ohio State was going to win it. So shame on me. This Duke team was looking good, but they were making mistakes. And, Ohio State was able to get some points in the paint in the second half where they hadn't really been able to get any in the first half. So that was one of the things that changed tremendously for Ohio State. So when they were in the low block, actually scoring points this time around, because they really didn't attempt to get anything inside that much during the first half. But then during the second half, they made some adjustments and they were able to, get it inside. I think his name is Zed Day. Is that his name, Marshawn?
Zed Key.
Zed Key, thank you. Yeah, Zed Key, he was also a huge part. I did not really see Michi play that much in the second half.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say this, and I respect his family, his dad, his uncle. But I mean, he's struggling, man. He hasn't hit granted, these are my expectations, but for somebody who I got a chance to watch, his freshman year, he put up 50 points against Benedictine. I mean, you being mentored by J.R. Smith, LeBron James is your uncle. I expected Michi to, have a better outing than what he did yesterday. This is a big game going up against
Puke.
Going up against Duke. But one thing I'll say, man, I think Chris Holtman ain't using Michi right. I think he's trying to use him as a point guard versus using him as a combo guard, a guy who could just get buckets, versus a guy who can facilitate the offense. I think this Ohio State team reminds me of the Milwaukee Bucks. Not saying that they got a Giannis or a Chris Middleton or something, but instead of having, Drew Holiday isn't known for facilitating the offense. Everybody's facilitating. Giannis is facilitating. Middleton is facilitating. They do it by committee. So that's what I feel like Ohio State is going to have to do this season in order to be successful. Man, one thing about the game yesterday, they went on the last 7 minutes of the game. Duke only scored 4 points. Ohio State went on a 20-4 run. I mean, it's got partly to do with foul trouble. Now, I remember I turned it on. I got home after we did the pie yesterday, Willie. And, I mean, Ohio State was down, I want to say 17 or something like that. And next thing you know, they started attacking the paint a lot. And once it was like, I want to say Paulo Campero and about 2 other guys had 3 fouls. After that, that's when I knew like Ohio State is starting to, play to their strengths. Inside, physicality, controlling the boards on rebound. Yeah, controlling the boards on offense, not letting, Duke get second chance points. And I mean, it surprised me. I actually fell asleep on the game with about
What?
3 minutes left, and I woke up probably like 45 minutes later. I was like, oh my God, they won.
I know,
So
man.
I'll say this though about Ohio State. Non-conference, they look like number one, number two, number three team in the league. Once you get in that conference play, they look different. So, if they knock off, they play. I forget who they play next, but I know they opening up Big Ten. They play Penn State and Wisconsin, and then they got to play Big Blue Nation. So I feel like if they can contend, they'll do. The way that they'll show me that they real is when you go out to Vegas to the CBS tournament. Show me that you real about beating Kentucky. If you could beat Duke in Kentucky, I'll give them the props. But
We play Kentucky this year too.
yeah, the CBS Sports tournament is Kentucky, UCLA, Ohio State, and Arizona.
Oh my God! How did we get in there
And
with all West teams?
well, that's been going on for some years. Ohio State flip flops. 1 year they'll play UCLA, and 1 year they'll play Kentucky. They flip flop every year on who they normally play.
It's at a neutral site though. Last
Yeah,
night.
it's in Vegas. It's in
Can
Vegas.
you believe I almost felt bad for Coach Krzyzewski? I really didn't. But the way he walked off the court is like he ain't used to losing, and he probably never thought he'd lose to Ohio State because they got some ballers on Duke, But like you said,
Yeah,
Marshawn, they got in that foul trouble, and Ohio State was able to exploit that and kind of score at will inside, where they hadn't been able to score inside in the first, in the beginning of the game in the first half.
yeah,
So they saw something that they liked and got the right matchups, and
yeah.
some of their shooting was poor shot selection, as they a lot of threes that just were not good shot selection on those threes that they
Mm-hmm.
chose to take, but they
Mm-hmm.
was able to get some lucky bounces at times. But it was just funny, like this the last time you're gonna play Ohio State and you just got whooped, and just the look of dejection
Yeah,
on his face, and then everybody stormed the court, so it was hard for him to walk off at first. But it was something that was needed because of what happened with Michigan on Saturday. So just a couple days later, OSU was able to knock off the number one team in the nation, give them their first loss. That was an amazing thing and a much needed thing after Saturday. So I'm happy that happened. And Caleb was at the game. He actually had a really Caleb was there. He had good seats. So I'll talk to him tomorrow about it. But he was at the game too.
okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean,
so
go ahead.
let me ask you a question about the Ohio State and Michigan Duke thing. Do you think that there are more people in Ohio State Buckeye Nation that hate Michigan as opposed to people across the rest of the country that might hate Duke more?
No, I think more people. You gotta remember. So are you talking strictly Ohio State fans or people that hate Duke? Period.
Well, what I'm saying is the comparison between the hate of Ohio State Buckeye Nation towards Michigan, and then compare it to the hate that the Duke Blue Devils get pretty much everywhere. Which one do you think?
I think the Duke
Michigan.
hate is a lot more. I think the Duke hate is a lot more because you gotta remember. I mean, Ohio State fans come from majority Ohio, sprinkle here, sprinkle there. Duke fans is everywhere. They're everywhere, and everybody hates Duke.
But they
North
just,
Carolina fans
front
hate
runners. They just front runners. That's all.
But I don't think nearly as many people hate Michigan as much as everybody hates Duke. Everybody hates Duke. Everybody. I actually got a chance to talk. This was like a year ago. I got a chance to talk to the coach. Coach Kenny Blakeney, who actually won Coach K's first national championship with Grant Hill, Bobby Hurley, and all of them. And one of the questions we asked him was like, who, have you, after you won your first national championship, did you actually feel that amount of hate that, from Big Blue Nation? And he said, no, he said, man, it was times where we couldn't even go, anywhere without people just not liking us. So now I gotta. And the reason why I say that is because, man, you got people in Ohio that actually love. You got people in Cleveland that love Michigan. You got people in all parts of Northern Ohio that I feel like is supposed to be on the Ohio
The
State
Toledo area.
wagon. Yeah, that actually are for Duke. I mean, that actually are for Michigan. So, no, I don't.
But this
believe it.
100-year history of hate in Michigan. So that's that's a long thing. I think 102 years. So that's a long drawn out thing. But I think a lot of people that hate Duke. But a lot of people hate Ohio State. I didn't know one of the nicknames people have for Ohio State started with the FIs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Like I was watching. When Jalen Rose said that on the Fab Five special, I was like, what?
Yep.
People hate us? Like I just couldn't believe it.
Everybody.
I couldn't
Everybody
believe it, though. But I'm like, why?
Because you're a successful programmer on football. I don't think everybody hates Ohio State football. I don't think everybody hates Ohio State basketball because, I mean, honestly, they haven't really done much of anything for people to hate. Yes, they've been in some national championships, but they didn't win. So, I don't really know too many people that hate Ohio State basketball, but I know a lot of people who hate Ohio State football. Very lots.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I get that too. When I'm polling different people around in different areas around here, or maybe even a little bit east of where I'm at, but I guess for that statement and for those questions, those questions are going to be skewed towards anything that's in the SEC anyway. Out here it's Texas, OU, in Louisiana, of course, it's the LSU. Even in Louisiana, Alabama, because Nick Saban has gone into Louisiana and plucked so many players out of there, it ain't even funny. I mean, the most recent Heisman Trophy Award winner comes first to mind from a little small town in Louisiana. I forgot the name of it, but it ain't no bigger than this ring light that I'm sitting in front of.
Yeah, and before we take a break, Cleveland State starts its Horizon title defense starting tomorrow. And who are they playing again? So you want to get down to Northern Kentucky out of the Horizon League. So you want to get down and catch that Cleveland State action with Dennis Gates and see how far these boys can go again. Can they make it to the dance again and, have a real impact this time? So we'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, and we are at our last segment. Time flies by when you're having a good time. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in Miami tonight, and they are taking on the Miami Heat. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers have they have to do something they haven't done in a long time, almost 10 years, and that is beat the Miami Heat. They have not beat the Miami Heat in 20 games in Miami. They beat them in Cleveland, but they haven't been able to beat them in Miami. And one of the last teams that won was obviously with LeBron, almost like 2010. So right before LeBron actually left to come to Miami was the last time that the Cavaliers beat Miami in Miami. So I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to, seeing these Cavaliers. They played great on the road. They're like 6-4 on the road or whatever. So they have a great road record. But you guys, do you think the Cavaliers can beat Miami tonight on the road?
I think they'll be able to, especially with Bam Adebayo being out for the next 6 weeks.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Oh, he's hurt? Okay, good.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, he's having surgery. He's got a torn ligament in his thumb. So,
I had an injury like that called gamekeeper's thumb, and his thumb probably will not be the same because it took, like my doctor told me, it's going to take a while to heal. He was like, it's going to take years to heal. And literally it took about 5 years before I kind of got my grip back and everything. So I feel sorry for him. That's going to be a possibly bad injury.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
somebody else had that too, though. Who else had a thumb ligament injury? I can't remember. There was a quarterback, though.
Russell Wilson.
No, his was a finger.
Yeah, but somebody had a thumb.
It was his thumb.
No,
I thought it was his thumb.
No, it was his finger.
Yeah, it was his finger.
That's a finger.
Yeah, but there was a quarterback with his thumb. I can't remember who it was, though.
I can't remember who it was either.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Drew Brees?
No, I don't think it was Drew Brees. Somebody who ain't even worth remembering because we can't.
Right. But yeah. So, Marshawn, you think that the Cavs will be able to beat Miami tonight?
I believe anybody can beat anybody any night. Will they beat them? I think they'll get it done, and I think they'll get it done tonight if they didn't go out partying last night. You know what I mean? Miami is one of the hardest places to win because when you get there, it's warm. You're on South Beach. You know, all the wrong distractions is there, but like Willie said, they don't have Bam Adebayo. So you pretty much out there with all small guards, with Lowry,
Jimmy's out.
Tyler Hero.
Jimmy Butler
out? Oh, yeah,
I think he's out too.
Miami's not winning tonight, then.
Oh, yeah.
This kind of reminds me of that game when the Cavs played the Clippers and the Clippers had nobody and the Cavs won. So I'm feeling that type of energy right now. I think the Cavs will probably get it done tonight. Does that mean I'm hoping Chris Styles hear this. Does that mean that the Cavs are a top 8 team? No. Just because you're in the 8th seed right now don't mean that you're a top 8 team. I think they're a top 10, maybe top 11 team, but I do not believe that the Cavs are better. I don't believe the Cavs are one of the 8 best teams in the Eastern Conference right now. Injuries or no injuries, I still believe that they still have some work that needs to be done on the player side. You still need a wing player. You still need, some more shooting. So, I mean, I'm kudos to them for winning, but you know what I mean? There's still work that needs to be done.
So Jimmy Butler's out, Markieff Morris is out, and of course Bam is out.
Yes.
So
the Cavs will win that one tonight.
That means that probably means that Duncan Robinson is going to shift to the small forward spot. Tyler Hero will step in at the shooting guard, so they basically going to be running 3 guards or 4 guards almost. And PJ Tucker will probably be the 5. Yeah.
Who's gonna play the 4?
I don't know. Gabe Vincent, maybe? No, not Gabe Vincent. He's a point guard. I don't know. They still got.
Do we even care, Marshawn?
They got Haslam on the roster still.
I know.
You did? He gonna get about 30
like
minutes tonight. The enforcer. He gonna get about 30 minutes tonight. Score about 2 points. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the Cavs, man, they actually have to win a game like this. You have to win this game.
Yeah.
You have me. This is the game where you have no excuses. They don't have. They're down 2 out of 3 members of their core, I would say. So you have to take advantage of this game. This is games where if you're an improving team, you you have to win. You have to win this type of game in order to show people that you are improving, that you are real, that you ain't no fake, that you ain't no phony. You take care of business in South Beach, and then after that, go to the Fontainebleau, go and party it up. Go to Wet Willie's. After that, do whatever you want to do. Just get it done tonight.
They getting on that plane and coming back home. They ain't about
You
to
don't know
stay
what
down
Willie's
there no
is?
time.
No.
Oh my goodness.
The name. Just think of the name alone.
It sounds like one of those places where you have to have a ID to get in.
If you ain't 18.
Yeah.
If you ain't 21.
Yeah.
That ain't no place you need to be hanging.
Yeah, but this is prime for the Cavs. In time for them to start a new streak, because if they missing all their starters, that'd be like the Mavericks game. They were able to take advantage of everything where somebody will still get their points, but overall the Cavs should be able to get through. So I'm excited for tonight's matchup. I'll be on the road, but I'll be listening on the radio. And last night, Golden State and the Phoenix Suns played last night. I wasn't able to catch the game because I was watching Ohio State versus Duke. So, Willie, you caught that game last night?
I caught the highlights of it.
Okay. Marshawn fell asleep.
So, but what I can tell you from what I saw,
I caught that game.
Yeah, what I can tell you from what I saw is, Steph Curry is one of the most terrible shooters I've ever seen. I mean, this dude was missing from everywhere. Layups, mid-range, three-point range. This dude can't shoot.
Well, I mean, he entitled to have a bad game every once in a while. It happens.
You know I'm playing, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the game, so I don't know.
That's the result of playing Chris Paul. I don't know what it is about Chris Paul, but Chris Paul cannot stand Steph Curry. Anytime him and Steph play, he plays hard. He think he's Steph Curry with killer crossovers and all this and that. So, no, I mean,
he was jaying him up last night.
Yeah. He put them. Between him and Mikal Bridges, they put them straps on Steph. Yeah, Mikal Bridges put them straps on Steph Curry. So, I mean, it was just, hey, like what he say, every superstar gonna have a bad night every now and then. If Steph Curry was dropping 40 every night, then something ain't right. Somebody needs to step up their defense and things of that nature. So, I'm not surprised. Just like when they play Brooklyn again, I think Brooklyn is gonna take it to them. I don't think Brooklyn gonna lay down like they did last game. So, no, don't be surprised if you see. I'm not gonna say don't be surprised to see a 4-20 night from Steph, because I don't think that'll ever happen again. But don't be surprised if you see teams, playing hard on Steph and making them work for it, and not just letting Steph walk down the court and pull up from, Shaker Square. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. Right now, if we're being honest, Phoenix is the best team in the NBA. Right now they're playing like it. They went to the finals last year, and they're on a 17-18 game winning streak right now with pretty much their same core as last year. So Phoenix is the real deal right now. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that they're NBA champions or potential NBA champions, but they're really, really good.
Yeah, and
I got some breaking news in the baseball world. If we got 2 minutes to talk about it, Marcus Stroman has signed with the Chicago Cubs. I wasn't expecting that.
Just saw that.
I didn't think that they would. I didn't think that he would walk. I thought Stroh would stick around. Especially the Cubs, who are. Let's be honest. They're just like the Guardians, a rebuilding franchise. They're trying to rebuild. From off the championship run that they were on. But that's good for Stroman. Go ahead and get that money. You in the shot. You get all the Harold's chicken and Garrett's popcorn you want. Good for him.
Because the lockout starts tonight, right?
This lockout will begin in 15 seconds.
I was going to say the lockout start at 7:00.
Yeah. Yeah. So and they're not even close. And if you guys want to come on the show with me and Mike on Monday, we can chop that up.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna do some research about that, man, and be ready.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for us. So, go Cleveland Cavaliers. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we are out of here.
Patients with COVID, long haul syndrome, seek medical help, but their symptoms are not recognized as being COVID related.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get into it.
All right,
I gotta
party
get into
people.
last little bit of work so I can go home.
All right, y'all.
Thanks, Marshawn.
After
Bye,
the
Willie.
initial
Thank you.
COVID
And Monday.
infection, there are several symptoms that may indicate.
All right, just remind me after the show.
COVID,
Okay.
COVID-19
All right. I'll see you. Have a good
syndrome.
weekend if I don't talk to you.
These
All right, you too.
symptoms
Okay.
are
All right. Bye.
shortness of breath, coughing,